Welcome back. Pakama is where we're broadcasting from. It's a park in Ackerville here in Malahleni. It's 19 minutes before the top of the hour here on SABC 2 and channel 404. It's wonderful being with you as we bring to an end all of our road shows throughout South Africa, where we've been highlighting a couple of the towns in the area and showing just what it is like and some of the issues that the people have there. I've got quite a few. I promised I would read them, and I will when you come back to me again after this particular insert. But first, also a massive congratulations to all of the SAMA winners yesterday. I watched it. It was a fantastic ceremony, so well done to everybody. It was a good job, I must say. Well done to everyone. All right, well, let's get back to the issue at hand here. And we've been covering a couple of issues with regard to the residents and with regard to a couple of the problems in this area. But government's 3-year-old farm revitalization program is yielding some good results. Now, these particular programs assist farms that have been claimed in the land restitution process. So far, believe it or not, 1,300 farms have already started production. Now, one of them is a banana farm in Hazyview in this province of Mpumalanga. Take a look.
The Pegasol farm was handed over to the Kiba community 10 years ago. At the time, it was one of the best producers of bananas in the country. But a few years after the handover, productivity declined and the farm collapsed. The failure was attributed to a lack of unity among the farm's beneficiaries and a lack of skills. Government moved in to rescue the farm with a 50 million rand investment.
We are training them in management, in different husbandry skills, in orchards, in pack houses, in being operators, driving tractors. And we have now developed 2/3 of the farm. We hope we'll get the funding in the next financial year to complete the last phase.
The farm is slowly returning to its former glory. It has new equipment and its pack house has been renovated. 280 community members, all of them beneficiaries, work on the farm, with plans for another 120 to join the farm's workforce.
We're not aware about farming bananas. That's why we failed. So now, because we've got an expert for bananas and the strategic partner, I think everything is going well.
We are happy that the farm is back to production. Many people have got jobs now and they are continuing to employ more.
Since 2010, we have recapitalized and they are in production. More than 1,300 farms across the country. And some of them have got more money in the bank than I do. Just go to the Free State and you meet the farmers there in the Free State who are in this program, Recapitalization and Development Program.
Earlier this year, government paid a R1 billion settlement in a claim against one of South Africa's most exclusive game lodges. The settlement involves 15,000 people who live in several villages near the Kruger National Park. The owners of the 5-star Malamala Reserve rent the property for 700,000 rand a month until January next year. An agreement also stipulates that they will be involved in a strategic partnership to transfer skills to the new beneficiaries, the Ngwadlamhlade Community Property Association, to sustain the business. In the previous financial year, 549 land claims cost government 1.6 billion rand. And before that, 252 claims were settled to the tune of about R1 billion. Moili Maslela, SABC News, in Hazyview, Mpumalanga.
All right, so there you have a positive story. Hazyview, a banana farm in Mpumalanga. And that's a nice story to be covering. Well, there on your screen is the mines that you'll find in this area, massive coal mining industry here in Malahleni. And we're broadcasting just next door to that mine at the Pakama Park in Ackerville. So that's our location for this morning's broadcast. Now, the election's around the corner, 7th of May. I think I've said that date so many times, and it's everywhere. It doesn't matter whether you turn on a television, you open a newspaper, you listen to the radio, the election elections are everywhere, on the top of everybody's minds. But I hope it really is on the top of your mind to get out there and vote on that particular day. All of this is in aid of the fact that this is your right. This has been a 20-year fight for democracy that has been an incredible journey for South Africans. And we're talking to a lot of people that could be voting for the very first time in these upcoming elections. And the Born Frees are really the center of attention when it comes to these elections here in 2014, and a very exciting period for everybody of South Africa. But let's talk about the readiness of this province, and we'll talk about also the ID documents that are being passed out in this area, and also temporary IDs just to assist those that do not have their IDs at this point. We're now joined from the Mpumalanga Department of Home Affairs by Robert Zitha. Robert, thank you for being our guest. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Leanne, and to viewers.
How has the Mpumalanga Home Affairs Office been assisting the residents of this area?
We have been all over giving services to people. We have registered at schools, we have registered at various communities. We think everybody that is supposed to have an ID book does have an ID book.
Smart card IDs, everyone's applying for them, everybody wants those. But obviously, I imagine by next week, not everyone's going to have them. How are you assisting and making sure that it's all systems go for next week?
The smart cards are being applied for at offices, and people are geared. Those who have smart cards will be able to can vote, because there is a provision on the smart card for the zip machine. And people should not be scared. They can go and vote with the smart cards.
So you can use your green barcoded ID and your smart card, whichever one you have, and they're both valid for these elections.
Whichever one you have. For those that shall have lost their ID books on the day of election, our offices will be open throughout, and we'll be assisting everyone who comes to us for a temporary identification certificate, with which he or she will be able to vote as well.
How long does it take to get a temporary ID?
It doesn't take long. It's a matter of minutes, and a person will be able to can vote. Yeah. However, we encourage people to come and collect their ID books, because currently we have quite a number of ID books that are not collected from our offices. And we are saying to people who have applied should come forward and collect their ID books.
So when you talk about quite a few, I mean, well, are there piles of ID books that are just sitting there waiting to be collected?
Yes, there are piles of ID books, I can say, in offices. We are doing everything at our disposal to get those ID books distributed. Yeah. We are fortunate that the Premier, as well as councillors, we have these stakeholder forums. They are assisting us in the distribution of the ID books. We give them lists, and the CDWs go about informing the people that your ID book is ready, come and collect it, those who are not coming. And we have got the SMS system that we use. When an ID is received in an office, we trigger that SMS system, and it informs the person that your ID is at the office. We also have a number which a person can use in order to check whether the ID has been processed or not. The ID number which a person should use, the number that a person should use to check his ID book or her ID book is 32551.
That's a nationwide. I mean, that's one of the numbers that anybody can SMS.
Correct. Yes, it's nationwide, and a person can use that number. It will tell that person that your ID book is lying in the office. Come and collect it.
Give me that number again, please, if you don't mind, Robert.
The number is 32551. In other words, you send an SMS to that number, and you send your ID number or the ID number that you are inquiring about. It will come back. It will come back.
32551. SMS your ID number to that SMS number. You should get an automatic response. If you are in fact waiting for your ID, it'll tell you if it's ready and where you can collect it. So I urge you to do that ahead of the elections. You mentioned that the office hours are going to be extended on voting day. All of the Home Affairs offices will be opened. Is this just on voting day, or have you extended for this weekend as well, just to get the last minute rushes out the way?
Our offices are open during Saturdays as well, and we have extended our operational hours to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So yes, people can come and collect at any time. However, we will be closed on. We were closed on holiday, but Saturdays we are open.
Saturdays are open. Robert Zitha, thank you very much for talking to us. Robert is from the Department of Home Affairs here in Mpumalanga, urging everybody to get your ID books. If you've applied for an ID and you don't know whether it is ready or not, just SMS that number. You'll be able to find out. And just remember, you need your ID book to vote, okay? It's a non-negotiable. You have to have your ID book or your smart card in order to cast your vote on the 7th of May. Let's take a break.